What's up, gamers? Welcome back to Simply Sims. Sit back, relax, and let's dive into a new world together. On today's episode of the 30-day Create a Sim Challenge, we are doing an elemental sim. For this, I had in mind, obviously deciding between earth, fire, water, and air, and to be honest, I wasn't exactly sure which one I wanted to entirely do, and then I realized that there were only a few that we could do in general anyways, just because with Sims itself we have the option of doing air, because ghosts, and we have the option of doing water, because mermaids. Obviously, they could be, well, yeah. I feel like that's the only two, because aliens wouldn't really fall under anything. Werewolves wouldn't fall into anything. Yeah, I feel like it's just ghosts and werewolves, or not werewolves, ghosts and mermaids. So I ended up choosing a mermaid. I made a mermaid that was very outsidey, kind of likes ghosts and stuff like that. But instead of making it as like a mermaid, I made it more so of the powers that she has are, what's the word? Like she can control it and it just helps like in situations. It's just a superpower. She can turn into a mermaid. It's not like she is just a mermaid. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that was my thought process with which one to do, because I know that I could have done ghosts, but I knew later in our Create a Sim challenge that we do ghosts, so I just did a mermaid, because I also was looking at the list of what we have to do next, and it would just make more sense to do a mermaid, because a lot of the other ones are going to be taken anyways. So, yeah. And here I am just cleaning up her traits a little bit. I wanted it to be not so sad, because it was like loves the outdoors, loner, and something else that I forgot, to be honest, but I know I replaced it with child of the ocean, and then I turned her into a mermaid. And so, yeah, and then just trying to figure out a name to name her. We definitely have, I don't know, I'm trying to do like other names that I wouldn't typically name Sims too, to kind of keep it a little more diverse in things. Same with how I'm doing like different skins, because I don't typically use skins because I have mods, so skins are kind of softly looked at, because a lot of the time like skin details will take over and make your Sims look a little bit different. I try to avoid ones that do like drastic, but for the most part they tend to like smooth out the skin, or they give it a healthy coloring to it. And I know I've said this before in other videos, but I feel like a lot of the Sims skins that we receive are very gray. So I don't know. I just like when my Sims look alive and they look healthy, unless obviously I'm making in a cold or a sick Sim, but in these cases I'm not. I just wish we had a lot like warmer tones to everything, because we just don't really have that. It is more so of having very gray and very like cool tones, which are fine. I just don't think they're also very depicted well. They just look very sick. They don't look like a skin tone, they just look sick. So yeah. But then of course I'm going in and creating the face a little bit more. I did want to make her a little bit older, to try and mess with, because I always make young adults, just messing around with different ages as well. And then just trying to figure out what ears I wanted, because from the side I just wanted little ones. And then you're gonna see me here fight with the create a sim, what is it called, like system, to try and make these ears not so pointy, because I wanted them to be noticeable but not entirely noticeable. And then I forgot that these ones, when you look in the front, they look like regular ears. You don't see the point. So I wanted to have something a little bit discreet for her. So it's not just like out there that she's a mermaid. And of course I could have given her different ears, but I wanted to kind of play into the camouflage a little bit, that like if you know what you're looking for, you're gonna see it. And then just trying to give her some interesting colored eyes that like are gonna look human, but there's gonna be something a little uncanny about it. Maybe a little bit too bright, maybe a little bit too colorful, something of the sort like that. And then I wanted to possibly give her like the piranha teeth, and I thought that that was maybe like a little bit overkill. And I'm pretty sure I give it to her in her mer form, but I don't remember, to be honest. Of course, giving her a birthmark. Maybe that's like where her powers come from, is just like there's magic in that birthmark or something like that. I couldn't really figure out how I wanted to portray how her powers work. I honestly did not think that far, but just trying to figure out a hair color for her that matched her skin very nice, and I think this one looks really, really good. And then we have just trying to figure out as well like her hairstyle, because I know that obviously she's a mermaid, she has the power to turn into a mermaid, and I thought that maybe she would probably have just very long hair, and I couldn't find one exactly in the idea that I had in mind, just because I wanted them to also kind of hide her ears, but she could also like have her ears out enough that you could see like earrings and stuff like that when she puts stuff in her hair and puts, you know, cuffs on and things like that, you know, accessories. And I went with this one at first, and then I tried to make it so that it was easier to take off hats, and then honestly this just became super annoying. I realize that not every outfit is going to have a hat, but now it does. So I have to go through and fix the hat every time. And I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this issue with Sims where you're changing the color of an item and it reverts back to a different like hair color or a hairstyle or something of the sort, or even like the skin changes or something. I have gotten this about 3 or 4 times within making all of these videos for you guys, and I'm not sure what to do about it. It's not too terribly annoying because like I can just go back and fix it really fast because it's a color or something, but I couldn't figure out what exactly was like causing the issue entirely, because it would happen at random. And again, if you guys are experiencing this too, I don't know if it's happening for you like that, but it was just doing it at random times. Like I would click an item or I would change a color of a sock or something of the sort, and then something else would change. And I'm also noticing that like certain gloves on Sims will make their hands super big. I know a lot of people were saying that it was with the Adventure Awaits items, but to be honest, I'm experiencing it and I don't have the Adventure Awaits pack. I have Outdoor something, and the Salvadorian one, but it's not Salvadorian, Sanda something, the ancient relic like gameplay DLC that you could buy, whatever that one is called. I have both of those, and those are the most outdoorsy ones that I have, but it wasn't even conflicting with those ones. It was just like an item would conflict with whatever. And then she would have gigantic hands, or he would have gigantic hands. So I know we're supposed to be getting all of these like fixes from EA, but so far each fix has broken something else, and it's not the greatest. So I went with water tattoos for her, and I tried to get these tattoos as close to blue as I could, and then just having her wear a little bit of more flowy clothing. I felt like she would probably be more somebody who wants to wear like looser shirts, maybe some skirts or loose pants. And at first I was like maybe like board shorts, but I was like no. She's probably gonna go with like cloth shorts and then like sandals. And then I gave her the I think they're like banana leaves or something like that, the little leaf bracelets. Yeah. I had the idea that her wearing one and then a ring would help like balance out so she doesn't always turn into a mermaid. And that's kind of like where she got her powers from, is like this bracelet that she found, she put on, and now she can't get off. And then she was like informed by the mer people that she needed to wear this ring so that she could return to civilian life. Where I got that from, I have no idea. Maybe I had ideas of the Little Mermaid and the Green Lantern. Who knows? But that's kind of the story that I was rolling with. So I gave her sandals, and then she has the dolphin tattoo on her ankle too, because that was pretty much as watery as our tattoos got from like base game without CC, not just base game without DLC, but just pure plain Maxis gameplay. All of those tattoos, like there's not very many that have anything to do with water, which I was kind of sad about because I was hoping that there were more. So I realized that a lot of the water ones that I have were CC, and that kind of made me sad. But here we are, just trying to make sure that all of our outfits are a little cohesive with their colors, or at least as close as I can get them to be. I liked the green dress with the beige shoes because it kind of helped highlight the orange beige-ish color that was on the dress in contrast to the green. So I think that looked really nice together. And then trying to figure out how to make this top work with something. I was kind of okay with this at first. And then I started like changing to socks, and that's when I realized my problem, because when I was starting to put the tennis shoes on, I couldn't really find a pair that matched. I was finding pairs that had alternative colors, and I could have went with those green sneakers, but I didn't entirely like them with it. And then I was like, I'll just change her to like dark blue, because I feel like I'm going to be able to find more dark blue things that are going to match. And I felt like this worked together, even though there was like the orange at the bottom and the gold up top. But you know, we did it. We were able to at least get some sort of outfit that looked not like a toddler put it together, because the colors were kind of coordinated. And then for sleepwear, I figured she probably put her hair up. Maybe she wets her hair at night so that her skin doesn't dehydrate, and she just keeps her hair in this because then it holds moisture for a little bit longer. And then she can have enough water throughout the night that she won't dry out. Or at least that's kind of the thought process. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, and then just trying to find a, what is it called? Just a nice color that would go on her for the rest of these, because I realized I started to repeat a lot of the colors, and that's why you see me select a lot of the same, just to make sure that they're kind of at least cohesive, because those are colors that I do struggle with. Blue not so much, but the other ones, yes. And so I wanted her to have some sort of flowy thing for parties, and then I was like, oh, I could do like the sea ship dress. It's at least what I call it because it looks like it was used from like Little Mermaid, got off a boat and she just took like an extra sail and stuff. That's what it looks like to me. But then I felt like it looked a little boxy. And so then I gave her this overall jumper piece, or short overall with the tank top, and then some heels. And then for her swimsuit, I was like, oh, I could do like the seashells and something. And I was like, no, that's kind of obvious. I don't think she's gonna wear a seashell bra to go swim, if she's not a mermaid. So I was like, we could do just a basic, very, very basic swimsuit. And then for hot, I just gave her like a short outfit, kind of the same thing with like the long top and the sports bra underneath, and then a skirt. And then I was like, maybe a different type of top, because the type of shapes that it was creating I wasn't liking it. And then I realized that I kind of tied it back. Is this one had a tie in the front, and so did the other one, so it kind of matched with the first outfit. And then I was like, wait, I don't want to repeat. So then I wanted to use this little corseted top, and maybe some shorts. And I think, if I remember correctly, I ended up just doing either a skirt or shorts, and I just made them khaki so that they kind of matched a little bit better. But oh no, I'm wrong. I just went with this wraparound skirt, which I thought was really pretty. I think that it would be perfect for her to wear. And then for her cold weather outfit, I did what is it called? I did like the ski jumpers from the expansion packs. I need to read over them and remember what their names are so I can help you guys know where they're from. If you guys are curious, of course, where the item came from. But I went with this jumpsuit with the jacket, and then I tried to match some shoes, and I think I did pretty well. You guys can tell me if it looks good. I think the shoes match the jacket pretty nicely. They're kind of grayish blue, like the thing. I didn't want it to match to the green, like part of the jumper, or I didn't want it to match to the yellow undershirt. And then I was like, I could give her gloves, and see, that's what I'm talking about. So the Country Living gloves, they gave her bigger hands, and that's the only gloves that I saw that kind of do that. For the pack, I realized I said something different earlier, so I apologize. Here's my correction because it happened in real time. But it made her hands big, and I was very confused at first because I didn't really notice it, and then I saw kind of the sleeve go level with the hand, so I was like, they are glitching just like from Adventure Awaits. So, and I think maybe I saw something online that had talked about how it wasn't just Adventure Awaits. I think it was also Country Living and Outdoor Retreat. But I don't remember, so I apologize. If anybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, if you could put that in the comments for somebody, or if I find it before, I'll put that in the comments for you guys, or the little description line for you, so that you guys know what I'm referring to, if anybody's interested, obviously. But now we're just finalizing with makeup and any accessories that I wanted to put on her, because I didn't entirely have anything in mind. I was kind of okay with her not really having anything, and then I was like, oh, well, she might accessorize a little bit to kind of keep suspicion off of her that she's a mermaid, and kind of distinct between her mermaid form and her regular form. so that way there isn't like anybody can know what her identity is if they meet her as a mermaid. Um, and so I did just go back through for the cold, hot, party, formal, and everyday because I don't really put accessories on athletic sleepwear or swimwear. Um, I just personally don't wear things like that. I get too paranoid that I'm gonna like lose jewelry or it's gonna tarnish or something of the sort. So I always take it off. And I pretty much perceive that in every sim that I make now too. So and then here just making sure that I am okay with all of the hairstyles because I wanted it to be a little bit more out there. Maybe for certain outfits, you know, she's okay with her ears being out because she knows that she's only going to be encountering so many people or whatever the reason may be. So yeah. And then for a party, I just wanted her to have kind of some hair that could be loose, but it also covers her ears so she doesn't have to be too worried about it. And then I just wanted to also give her a updo for athletic. And then I realized that there weren't very many updos for her hair that covered her ears. And so I thought about doing this kind of like half up, half down. And then I thought about doing this little braided one that kind of has the tips of her ears peeking out, which I thought was kind of cute. And then I was like, I mean, where is she going to be working out? To be fair, like, where is she going to be working out? So theoretically, she could have her ears out and nobody's going to know because she's going to work out by herself, most likely, or she's swimming. So nobody's going to see them anyways. so so there we are. And then for her formal, I wanted to do another sort of updo for her as well that covered her ears, but I was running out of options to kind of keep her hair consistent. And then I came across this little like side pigtail one and I was like, oh, this is perfect. Yay, we finally got one. And now just going back through making sure all of them have the hairstyles that I want before I do the final hair and save her. And then I was like, I could do this little headbanded one for the everyday. And then for her cold weather, she can have that one. And then most of her hair or her hair covers her ears. So perfect. And now to finish off, we are going to unlink and we are going to do Ingrid's mermaid form, and then we are pretty much done. And her colors were pretty easy, not gonna lie. I wanted to do some sort of like dark blue and light blue mixture together. So I did that, and then just trying to figure out what tail I wanted to give her because I thought about, you know, maybe she's a little bit of a siren and I wanted to make her evil but not too evil, you know. But I couldn't find one that wasn't too dark, and I know we can't change the colors. But I did end up making her skin color a little bit different, a little bit more dark and evil and mermaidy. And then I gave her the body set that we were given by EA that makes your Sims look sweaty. I thought that was perfect for her like mermaid form because obviously she's going to be wet. She's in the water. And then just changing her hair as well to be a different color. Maybe she's got some more wounds from when she's in her mermaid form because I don't know, maybe she's gotten into a fight or whatever. Giving her different color hair in the sense of I wanted her to have some sort of like dark form, and so I was like, oh, maybe I could do it like a contrasting, and so I did the blue, and I thought that was like perfect. And then I gave her the white eyes, I believe. Or no, they were like lilac or something, if I remember correctly, which I don't think I do. So I think I was going to give her different hair too, but I wanted to kind of have the slick back because she is a siren after all. But I couldn't quite find anything else that was like that one, so I just kept it. Do I go back and change it? I feel like I just look one more time just to make sure, but I think I like Oh, yeah, yeah, I did the rings because that's what I was looking for. And then trying to give her different accessories because I wanted to give her long, long nails, but I couldn't find any, so never mind. And then I think I switch her scar to be the one belly scar and not the 3 slashes, if I remember correctly. Nope, I do keep it. um, but here we go. This is Ingrid Wise. She is a person and civilian of Sulani by day and a mermaid by night. She does not save people, however, she saves herself from being discovered. That's that's kind of all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Simulation over, but the fun never stops on SIMplieSims. Subscribe!